Hello students, in this video I am going to discuss questions of chapter 4 from your book Flamingo, the Rattrap. I will discuss questions which are available inside the chapter and those questions also which are available at the end of the chapter, after text is finished. So first of all, I am discussing, there are few questions on page number 34 in your book Flamingo. You will see that from where did the peddler get the idea of the world being a rat trap? This is the first internal question. So as far as this question is concerned, that the rat trap seller, you know that this is story based on rat trap seller. So rat trap seller got the idea that this whole world is a rat trap. One day as he was selling his rat traps, he was wandering here and there. As you know that he was a homeless wanderer, so he was wandering here and there and selling. All of a sudden an idea is stuck into his mind that this entire world, this entire universe is a rat trap, and the people available or the persons live in this world are the rats, and all the joys, happiness, food, lodging, lavish living, clothing, luxuries, heat and light, means wanting of all these things, means people want these all the things. People rush behind money, people rush behind luxurious life, and this money and luxurious life and this physical possession is actually a kind of bait, as a bait is set for the rat in a rat trap, and as soon as the rat moves around the bait in the form of pork or cheese or a piece of bread, as soon as rat try to eat that, it shuts, the rat trap shuts, the door shuts, and it caught into that. Similarly, the people of this world run behind money, luxury, lavish and physical possession, lavish living and physical possession, and sometimes they adopt illegal ways to achieve these all the things. So these all the luxurious things are kind of bait for the human being, and they all one day as they try to achieve it, the door shuts and they are caught into that. So where from came, actually it was the production of peddlers rat trap seller's own mind, okay, own imagination. So, and he thought that this world is a rat trap, and comparing to the rat trap which he sells. Second question, why was he amused by this idea? While this idea came into his mind that this entire world is a rat trap and all human beings are rats and they are about to be trapped, few already have been trapped and few are moving around to be trapped, and all the luxuries and physical possessions after which they are running, actually they are trying to achieve it, are kind of bait for them. It amused them whenever, because all the time he used to move in daytime, all the time he used to move here and there in for selling rat traps, and most of the time he was not successful to sell even a single rat trap. So his plottings become weary, plottings become boredom for him, also boring. So while he found that his journey of selling rat trap from morning till evening was being tasteless, to give some taste in his life, he used to remember the imagination which he did for the people of the world, that this entire world is a rat trap, and that amused him actually. Why? Because he thought that I am in problem, I am a poor man, I am in problem, but the people who they are appearing rich, they are also not happy. Okay, I'm unhappy, I'm poor, I'm living in suffering, but they are rich who they are also not happy. They are gaining and they are running behind to gain more and more. So that's why he amuses whenever reminds this particular thought, that this entire world is a rat trap and all the people are a kind of rat and they are to be trapped by the bait, okay, of greed. So, and he thinks that as I am suffering, all are suffering. Next question, did the peddler expect the kind of hospitality that he received from the crofter? No. He had never expected the hospitality, the welcome which he received to the crofter. If you remember well, every morning he he goes on his journey to sell rat traps, and whenever it becomes dark, whenever it becomes night or evening, he knocks various doors to ask permission to stay for the night. But all maximum often he found sore faces. People tried to scold him that no, you can't get any place to stay here. Means people didn't allow him to stay at their homes because he was a homeless wanderer also. But the crafter, okay, he was the first man, the first door. It was the first incident in his life that the first door he knocked, the face appeared, and the face accepted him so warmly and welcomely. It was the crafter. So the crafter actually received him with such a hospitality, and the peddler never expected that he will be received by anyone, by someone in so much hospitality and kindness. Question number 4. Why was the crafter so talkative and friendly with the peddler? The crafter was so talkative and friendly with the crafter. The crafter was so talkative and friendly with this peddler, the old man, crafter, because he was also living alone. He was and his life was not very interesting because he has no wife, no child. So that's why he was also in search of a companion, because he was a very open-hearted person. He was even you can say open-hearted that he even doesn't believe in revealing concealing his actually the confidences. As you know that he showed his 30 kronos to even the money which he on to sell the milk from the creamery. He showed that money also 10 kronor currency to that peddler, which he stole later on. Okay, so he was a very talkative person and friendly person because of his good nature actually. Why did he show the 30 kroner to the peddler? He means the crafter, the old man. Why did the old man show the 30 kroner to that peddler? If you know the reason, students, if you have seen all the videos, YouTube videos I sent to you, you must be knowing this reason, that why did the crafter show the 30 kroner to that peddler. Because while crafter told him that I have earned 30 kroner, and it's a big amount actually in those days. I have earned 30 kroner in the last month to sell milk. While he spoke so, while the crafter spoke so to the peddler that I have earned 30 kroner to sell the milk, the peddler was looking not convinced. He was not believing that he could earn 30 kroner by selling milk only. That's why, to assure him, he sold the 30 kroner currency. Question number 6 on page number 34. Did the peddler respect the confidence reposed in him by the crafter? First of all, understand the question properly, students. Did the peddler, this Rattrap seller peddler, रिस्पेक्ट द कॉन्फिडेंस, कॉन्फिडेंस इन बिलीफ मीन्स जो क्रॉफ्टर ने, ओल्ड मैन ने इसके अंदर जो बिलीफ दिखाया, जो कॉन्फिडेंस दिखाया, जिसको वजह से इसको पैसे दिखा दिए ट्रस्ट करके, कॉन्फिडेंस करके, क्या इसने उसको रिस्पेक्ट किया? नो, ही डिड नॉट रिस्पेक्ट बिकॉज लेटर ऑन ही स्मैश द विंडो पेन एंड ही took out the money from the house, means he stolen the money. Now I'm moving towards page number 37, students. There are 3 questions on this page also, which is internal question. What made the peddler think that he had indeed fallen into a rat trap? While the peddler is stolen 30 kroner from that old man's crafted house, he thought that it was not possible for him, it was not good for him to continue his walking through the main road, main pathway, because he had stolen money. And if the crafter will know that his money was stolen, so he will be quite sure that the money he had sold only to the crafter, and only to the peddler at a seller. So crafter will send Seri for the people will start chasing him to for getting that money, to reveal that theft activity. That's why I thought that it is better for me to continue. The peddler thought that it is better for me to continue through the forest way, because in the forest way people will not find me easily. So he took the forest way, and actually he imagined that this entire world is a rat trap, okay, and all the people are actually they are all are rats. This entire world is rat trap, and all the greed, greed of achieving more and more, the luxurious life, the physical position, the greed of earning more and more money, and the physical position, having physical luxuries, that now himself he caught into that, because in the forest he lost the way. Actually, he couldn't find the way to get out of the forest to come to the main highway later on. So it is quite true that the thought which he had for the others, that this entire world is a rat trap, himself he caught into that trap. Why did the Iron Master speak? Next question. Why did the Iron Master speak kindly to the peddler and invite him his home? Actually, the Iron Master, you know that while he lost in the forest, he lied on the peddler, the Rattrap seller, lost in the forest, and he later, being too much tired on the ground, he heard his ear was towards the ground, and he heard a thumping sound. That was a sound of hammer. Actually, that someone is striking hammer against the iron. Actually, so he proceeded towards that direction, and he found a iron mill which was almost closed, but is still on a small scale the work was being progressed. And the owner of this iron mill was okay. In the iron mill, he requested to the blacksmiths that I want to spend night here. They allowed him, though in a very inhospitable manner, but they allowed him. So, and the iron master who was the owner of this company used to pay his usual visits, regular visits of inspection actually. And at this very time, while this peddler arrived there, iron master also came. And the iron master, while saw him the first time, he thought that he was his old regimental regiment means army friend. The iron master was in army. He was also in army, and this man, this peddler was appearing. His appearance was just like his army friend. So he thought that he was his army friend, and that's why, to think that he was his army friend, Captain von Stanley, that is Nils Olof. Okay, maybe Nils Olof nickname. Captain von Stanley was the name of his Iron Master friend. So he speak with him kindly, and he invited him to his home. To think, Iron Master thought that this peddler was his friend. He was mistaken, but he thought that he was his friend. Question number 3 on page number 37. Why did the peddler decline the invitation? Iron Master invited this peddler to understand that he was his friend, old army friend, but he knew that he was not his friend. The peddler knew that he was not, I'm not this man's friend. That's why he declined the invitation, because he had stolen 30 kronor. That was a fear, and this 30 kronor where from he is stolen, that he is stolen from the old crafter, and this old crafter has also worked in this factory who was the of which the owner was this iron master. While the old crafter was young, he used to work here in this iron factory. That's Ramso Iron Work. He used to work here. That's why he thought that it was not a good thing to go to that rich man's house, iron master house, because he was knowing the reality himself, and going to that rich man's home was just like throwing himself to the lion's den. Now I'm moving towards next page, students. Let's see. Yes, on page number 41, there are few more internal questions. What made the peddler accept Edla Williamson invitation? Now, if you know that the Iron Master, while requested to this peddler to come to his home, he declined. But while Iron Master went home and he sent to his daughter Edla Williamson, okay, he accepted that proposal, because Edla Williamson was very compassionate nature, and she requested him in such a compassionate manner, kind manner, in a such a kind tone and good manner. And she also assured him. So Edla Williamson saw that while she was inviting him to come to home, he was fearing, actually, very scaring. She assured him that as well you are going to my home, as in the same well manner you will be allowed to leave also. Means while after giving assurance and kind words, he was convinced to go there. Next question. What doubts did Edla have about the peddler? Edla had a doubt about this peddler. While she thought that how it is possible that a man's fortune can decline in such a manner, that a man working in army will be in such a poor condition, and will be in rags. Okay, selling rat traps in such a bad condition, dirty clothes. Means to see that peddler, Edla Williamson was convinced that from no angle he was looking an educated person. An army soldier, definitely an educated person. If you're an army officer, definitely an educated person. But this peddler was not looking from any angle that he was an educated person. That's why she had doubts about him. She thought that either he had escaped from prison, or he was and somehow he was a culprit or guilty, or he was a thief or something like a person. When did the Iron Master realize his mistake? When Edla Williamson invited this peddler, He accepted the invitation, this Rattrap sailor. He went home. At evening, he was served food and everything. He had that. But while in the morning, the servant saved him, bathed him, and he came in good suit of Iron Master. Iron Master gave his suit also to this man because he thought that he was his friend. So while he came into his good suit, at the dining table, and while Iron Master saw his face in the broad daylight, last night it was evening, so and it was semi darkness, so I was not able to saw his face, see his face properly. But now in the broad daylight, he saw his face and he realized his mistake, that he was this peddler was not his friend. Okay, he had mistaken. Question number 4. What did the peddler say in his defense when it was clear that he was not the person the Iron Master had thought he was? Actually, the peddler, while the peddler was caught, there was a very funny incident, these friends. While the peddler was caught, he started giving the lecture in philosophy to the Iron Master. He told that because Iron Master told that it was dishonest on the behalf of you that you came to my home. He told that yes, I was not coming to your home, but you forced me to come here. Okay, but anyway, nothing wrong has done. I will put on my rags. I will put off your suit. I will wear my rag clothes and I will leave this place. But the Iron Master told that I will call police, sheriff. Then he started giving lecture to him that Mr. Iron Master, do you know that this whole world is a rat trap? Giving philosophy to him that this whole world is a rat trap, and as your riches and your luxurious life is a kind of bait for poor people like me, and I came here and I trapped. Okay, similarly, you will also one day trap in this world. You will also you went in search of some bait, and you will caught in the trap. Iron Master laughed and he discarded the idea of calling the police. So that he told in his defense that what few things I'm remembering. The Rattrap seller told in his defense that he was not guilty because he denied to come here. He came because he was forcefully invited. Okay, and he further told that if nothing has went wrong, I will leave with my rag clothes. Question number 5 on this page number 41. Why did Adela still entertain the peddler when even after she knew the truth about him? Adela Williamson was a kind-hearted lady, actually kind-hearted girl. Even after knowing that he was not her father's friend, and he was a rat trap seller, he was just a poor man, but still she entertained him, still she benefited him because she thought that he didn't come because of at his own, and they came to invite him and they brought him forcefully. Actually, she knew that they brought that man forcefully and they promised that they will make his Christmas happy. Okay, that's why she even after knowing the facts, she used to entertain him. On page number 42, students, there are two more internal questions. Why was Adela happy to see the gift left by the peddler? Actually, while Adela Williamson and Iron Master went to the church for church services, there they got the information that a rat trap sailor has stolen the money of the crafter. Both were at once sure that the rat trap seller who had stolen money was no one else rather than the rat trap seller who is staying at his home in the form of his friend, which he mistaken that he was his friend. So they both thought that they had went to church, and he's a thief by nature, so he will steal something. Would have stolen everything from his home. As Iron Master told that while he returned, he asked the well-armed servant that I'm thinking that how much silver cutlery he had left, silver spoons. But while they returned, Adela Williamson received a gift from the servant, which was handed to the servant by that rat trap seller. And while she opened the gift, she found there a rat trap, those 30 kroner notes also with a small piece of paper written in the form of a letter. So in that letter it was written that I will not repose your confidence, I am not going to deceive your confidence in me, as you welcome me as captain, so I am not going to shatter your confidence. I will return you as a captain also. So this 30 kroner, please return to the man and this rat trap. So everything, this rat trap for you. So that's why she was very happy, because she trusted on that man and he had not deceived her trust. Why did the peddler sign himself as Captain Mon Stanley? Because the peddler signed as Captain Mon Stanley because while Iron Master brought him from the iron mill to his home, this man, he thought that he was his old army friend, Captain Mon Stanley, and all the welcome and whatever he received at the peddler's house, that was just because that he was Captain Nostrum. He came here in the form of Captain Nostrum. Later on, his identity came out, and he all knew that he was not captain, but still he received all the warm and welcome as a captain even after that. So he signed on the letter as Captain Morgan Stanley. So, students, now I'm going to discuss the question from understanding the text, which is on page number 43. Question page number 43. How does the peddler interpret the acts of kindness and hospitality shown by the crofter, the ironmaster, and his daughter? Actually, the Rattrap seller, the peddler, interpreted means understood, defined the hospitality and kind nature which was shown by the crofter, ironmaster, and Edla Williamson in three different ways. Now let's discuss one by one. While he he was received warmly by the crofter received him warmly while he knocked at the door. There was a reason. He served him porridge also. They played along with Majolis, the card game also. They had tobacco also along together with. But the crafter welcomed this man, this rat trap sailor, because he was alone. Okay, because of his loneliness, he was also searching some companion. And in the form of the rat trap sailor, he found a companion to spend some night and to talk someone. So that's why it was not a true hospitality. Okay, it may be that if this crafter might have wife and child, he might not have received him in such a way as he received. Okay. Secondly, the Iron Master was not a kind-hearted person at all because he thought that this man was his old army friend, regimental comrade. But while at the day broad daylight, he saw his face and came to face to face and familiar to the reality that he was not his friend. He became rude at once and told that he was wrong why he came, and I am going to call the sheriff police. So his hospitality also it is also just an occasional, okay, and it was for a particular person, not for the poor one, okay. But the kind and sympathetic behavior, the hospitality shown by Edla Williamson was absolutely selfless, okay, absolutely wonderful. That is a true kind behavior and hospitality because even after knowing the fact that he was not her father's army friend, still she uh, treated him with the same kind nature. She also asked him to take the suit which he was wearing on the Christmas Eve. That was a foreign master of her father, and she further told that if you are quite assured that no harm will be done to you, you are welcome next Christmas also. So in these three ways, the peddler interpreted the kind and hospitable behavior of all these three persons: crofter, ironmaster, and Edla Williamson. Question number two, students. What are the instances in the story that show that the character of the ironmaster is different from that of his daughter in many ways? Definitely. There are many instances in the story. As the ironmaster saw this man at his iron mill at evening time, he thought that he was his friend, this Rattrap sailor. He thought that this Rattrap sailor was his friend. But while he saw him at the day brought light, he blamed him for his arrival here. He didn't take his own responsibility that he forced him to come. He tried to bring him at home. While he was unsuccessful, he sent his daughter Edla Williamson to brought him back to the home. Okay, but while he saw his face at the broad daylight, he was about to call to the police. So that's why you can think that the Iron Master was not a so compassionate person, whereas Edla Williamson was a very compassionate, and he had a true sympathy, compassion, whatever it is, true hospitality that we can find in Edla Williamson. She proceeded for that man. She requested for that man. Her daughter, while her daughter was going to uh, ask that man, that Rattrap seller, to leave the home at once, she reminded him. She forced that father a person whom we have requested, whom we have assured that we will make his Christmas happy, okay, and he has not come to us or at his own, okay, and a person who is being chased from every door, he is being chased all through the year, okay, no one accepts him warmly, okay, and while we have promised to make his Christmas happy, it is our moral responsibility to cheer him, to make his day a memorable day, the Christmas. Okay, so that in this way you can say that Ella Williamson has totally different nature rather than Iron Master. She is a true compassionate lady rather than Iron Master is a practical man. The story has many instances of unexpected reactions from the characters to the others' behavior. Pick out instances of these surprises. In this story, we found many surprising incidents. Let's discuss what are those surprising incidents. The first, this Rattrap seller knocked at the door in the evening time. Okay, from morning till evening, he sells, used to wander here and there and sells his rat traps. As soon as it becomes evening, he knocks doors, and almost after knocking many doors, he was accepted by someone, received by someone to spend night. But one day, while he knocked the first door, the very first door of the crafter, old crafter, he was welcomed warmly. That was extreme surprise for the peddler. Okay. Secondly, while he went into the iron mill, Ramso iron mill, and he was sleeping there, the iron master came, the owner of the company, iron master came, and addressed him to ask his friend, to call his friend, that you were my friend. Okay. He was surprised that I am not his friend. I don't know this man. Thereafter, the kind behavior of Edla Williamson also surprises him, the peddler. Okay, so these are the various reactions which are very surprising reactions. Okay, which we notice. The behavior of Rattrap seller, the crofter is allowed to stay him at his home. He served porridge. He played majolis with him. He served him tobacco also. Means he treated him so kindly, but he stole the money. That was a surprising incident. So these are the surprising incident in the story, students. Next, what made the peddler finally change his ways? Why peddler changed? How peddler changed? He was a thief somehow, as his 30 kilometers stolen. How he changed? One reason is there. Edla Williamson's kind treatment and hospitality, compassionate behavior changed this man's atmosphere. Because even after knowing that he was a thief, he was not the friend of her father. He was not her father's old army friend. Still, she treated him with the same hospitality as a captain should be treated. His mind was completely changed. As we can find the reflection of his change of mind in his letter. In the letter, he has addressed that you respected me as a captain, so I will not deceive you. And he signed there as a captain on his Stanley also. So he changed his way because of a loving treatment. How does, question number 4, 5 actually, how does the metaphor of the rat trap serve to highlight the human predicament की situation, human condition को किस तरह से जो मैं रैट ट्रैप को यहाँ पे मेटाफर के फॉर्म में, मतलब यहाँ पर रैट ट्रैप और ह्यूमन लाइफ को कंपेयर कर दिया गया है। तो मेटाफर वहाँ पे फिगर ऑफ स्पीच स्टूडेंट्स होता है जहाँ पे टू डिफरेंट ऑब्जेक्ट्स को कंपेयर करते हैं। यहाँ पर रैट ट्रैप और ह्यूमन लाइफ को कंपेयर किया गया है, तो डेफिनेटली यहाँ पे बिल्कुल सही है ये चीज़। रैट ट्रैप is just similar to the life of human being. As in, let's discuss the process of rat trap, how the rats trapping that. Rat trap is set, bet is set. The rats in greed to have that bet in the form of cheese, pork or bread come to eat that, and as soon as they try to eat that, because of greed they come to eat that, and the door of the rat trap shuts and their life is finished. Similarly, the people run behind money, the rest behind luxurious life, food, shelter, pleasures, and they want to have luxurious things in their life. So this entire world is a rat trap. We are like rats, and the greedy things, the money and everything which is being provided by this world to the man, and behind that the man runs to achieve that actually is a kind of bet set for us. And as soon as we become over ambitious to achieve so many things in our life, the we are stuck into a very difficult situation where from it becomes very difficult to come out. So this comparison of rat trap to the human life to this body is quite true. Question number 6. The peddler comes out as a person with a subtle sense of humor. Subtle sense of humor, students. ऐसा सेंस ऑफ ह्यूमर जैसे कुछ लोग ह्यूमर क्रैक करते हैं, जो करते हैं तो बहुत आसानी से समझ में आ जाता है, सब लोग हंसते हैं. कुछ सटल सेंस ऑफ ह्यूमर वो होता है इसमें बहुत बारीक पॉइंट रहती है. मतलब कोई जोक करेगा तो आपको समझ में नहीं आएगा. मतलब कहते हैं लिटरल जोक, आप कह लीजिए लिटरल जोक. तो ऐसा जोक जिसको पहले समझना पड़ेगा तब हंस पाएंगे. सो सटल सेंस ऑफ ह्यूमर इस पूरे चैप्टर में आपको दिखाई देता है ऑन द बिहाफ ऑफ रैट्रैप सेलर. हाउ डज दिस serve in lightening the seriousness of the theme of the story and also endear him to us. Now the author is asking the question. The question says that how does this subtle sense of humor enlightens the serious theme of the story? The story has a very serious theme. What is the theme of the story? The ill treatment of the worldly people towards poor. Okay, but this serious theme became light because of that subtle sense of humor. And also, this subtle sense of humor makes us kind. Endear means to love. We love this man. We love the Rattrap seller. मतलब ये Rattrap seller जो है, इसको readers love भी करते हैं, इसको readers sympathy भी रखते हैं इसके लिए. Subtle sense of humor होने से थोड़ा सा theme, मतलब story हल्की हो गई है, बहुत serious नहीं है, गंभीर नहीं है, लेकिन message बिल्कुल आ रहा है पूरा का पूरा. Let's see that what are the incidents where you can find the subtle sense of humor. The subtle sense of humor is there where this rat trap seller assumes that the entire world is a rat trap. Okay, and because his own life is full of suffering, full of troubles, so he assumes that this entire world is a rat trap and others are also suffering. It's a subtle humor, little bit of laugh is here. You can say you laugh here little bit of just smile at this incident, that how he imagines that this entire world is a rat trap. Okay, if he's in problem, how it is possible that others are also in problem just like him. Secondly, while he was caught by the Iron Master, his identity come into the light that he was not his friend, army friend. He was a rat trap seller, a poor man. Again, he preaches him there that man, that this entire world is a rat trap. There also a small, that comical incident is there. Okay, we can find. Thereafter, the strange behavior of this man, he tries to defend himself in a very interesting manner while he was caught by the Iron Master. Identity comes into the Iron Master. Another subtle sense of humor, where he stole money from the crafter home, 30 kroner, and he thought that I will took the forest way, because if I will took the main path I will be caught, so I will took the forest way. And as he takes the forest way, the forest is dense and very deep. He himself got stuck into that forest, which he has assumed for others. इसने दूसरों के लिए assume किया था कि forest, ये पूरा का world, entire world एक rat trap है और सब इसमें trap है. खुद इस trap हो गया forest में because of that 30 kroner bet. So there is a subtle sense of humor. So students, I hope that you understood all the questions properly and you will do it. There are a few more questions which if I will discuss it, the video will become too large. Okay, so we will try to do the questions of talking about the text also. There are 4 questions in talking about the text that you will also try to write. Okay, and if you face any problem, okay, in these questions talking about the text, any of the questions you can discuss with me. You can ask with me in this video comment section or at my WhatsApp group also, at my WhatsApp number also, which is 9838377172. My WhatsApp number 9838377172. So thank you, friends.